Welcome back. We're ready to start cooking some bacon. It's been out now for about 6 days and it is sufficiently air dried that we can test it. So I'm going to get it out of the fridge, and because it's been warm out today, so I brought it inside as it's been too warm to hang outside. It gets above the wrong side of sort of 15 degrees and you need to get it inside. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bone out. I'm just trying to think of the best way to go at this. I'll see when I get to it, but I might start at this end, I might start at that end. I think I'll probably start over here because I like to get it nice and square. So I'll cut off a few test rashers and just fry them up and see how they taste. So come back when we got a few rashers off and we'll go over to the fryer. I've taken out 2 bones. We'll have a look at those in a second. The idea here, get these first few rashers off, is to straighten it up and make sure you can get some rashers off nice and clean when you go to use it. It will last for weeks, so there's no rush to get this eaten. And in fact, to be honest, it gets better and better the longer you leave it, up to a point where it gets too difficult to cut. So if you have a look at the board here, what I've done, as I say, I've taken the 2 end rib bones out. Cut the corner off. That won't go to waste either. I'm going to just chop that into a couple of lardons, and we're going to put that back into the pit beans bag in the freezer. And you can see here I've just started to take off some rashers to straighten up that corner. So you do need a good sharp knife for this. It doesn't take much to dull your knife when you're working with rind like this. So it takes a bit of practice and a bit of perseverance to get some nice thin rashers off. So I've already gone a bit off course with this one toward the back end, but that's fine. You can use a slicer if you have one. Now this isn't meant to be eaten raw, this is meant to be cooked just like ordinary bacon. But you do need a sharp knife to slice your rashers and then get the rind off. And I'll show you at another point what we do with the rinds, because these make fantastic little baked crackling rinds. Like I said, you can use a slicer, but the thing is the slicer's too easy. If you use a knife, you do it manually, you're going to be too tired to eat it all in one go by the time you're ready to eat. So yeah, we'll cook something up, come back and show you how it looks in the pan in a few minutes. At this point, I messed up the audio. What I'm trying to say here is that if you bake these for 12 minutes at a 180 oven, then they will crisp up in nice little ribbons of pork crackling. So what I've done here is I've put a bit of salt on them, rolled them around to make sure they're nicely coated, and now they're pretty much ready for the oven. Unfortunately, at this point, I'd messed the audio up again for this video, but there you go. What's done, it's done. I can't fix that. So this overdub bit will just tell you what I'm saying on the video, which is that the bits that I cut off to square the belly up were very, very good. They took just a few minutes to fry, didn't require any fat. And what you'll notice when you're frying them is they don't produce any of that horrible salty water that you so often get with commercial bacon. So that's it really, just those little bits were cut off. They were tasty in their own right. The little lardons corner bit that I was going to put in the pit beans bag never made it to the freezer, so it was just too good, I'm afraid. So that's eaten. Okay, I'm dubbing this one after the fact because I messed the audio up on this segment as well. What I'm saying here is that these small pieces of rind just take 12 minutes in a 180 degrees oven, that's 180 degrees Celsius. There's not much room for error in there. I've got it down to 12 minutes and it is perfect. It just needs a bit of salt, hot cast iron pan in the oven, and 12 minutes later you take them out and just let them cool. and they crisp up in those few minutes after you take them out of the oven while they're cooling down. And they're very, very good. Low carb, very tasty, and well worth using every bit of the beast if you can. Nothing goes to waste if you do it properly. At this point, I'll recommend Stephen Lamb's Smoking and Curing Meat book, part of the River Cottage library. I've used quite a few recipes out of there over the last few years, and they're all really excellent. I've not had a single thing fail on me. Very, very well explained. Equipment and methods and techniques and ingredients are all very, very well explained in the book. So I'd dig it out. He's also got some videos on YouTube, and that's all I've got for this one. So we'll join you next week for a bit of smoked pork shoulder.